It's the Coffee Pot Challenge. Hello and welcome to the Treasured Page. I'm Melanie and this is our quiet crafting space. Today we're having a look at the Coffee Pot Challenge. We're pulling 3 things out of the tin to see what I shall be crafting with today. Let's see what we've got. Wow, we've got a wild card. A wild card means I can choose anything from my supplies or my materials. Fussy cut, okay. And another wild card. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a bit of a free-for-all. Oh, that's exciting. Okay, I'm not going to change that. I'm going to go with it. We'll just choose. We'll see what we can think of, what we want to do. So I've been working in my journal. Makes sense to make ephemera to go into my current journal. And also, well, okay, with that in mind, I think what I will do is show you what I've been up to yesterday. Which I was going to show you at the weekend, but I think we'll do it now because it's ready. And this is a little digital kit that I've put together. It's just a 2-page idea here, and these are the images. So in here, the other day, we made this, which was a little specimen card and a little tuck spot able to house a card here for secret journaling or adding a little note, and that comes right out and you can put on something important there, little thing not to be forgotten. And I did a collage and we cut that out. So with that idea I then thought, well, that's quite good, isn't it? I couldn't find where I got my labels originally from, and I thought it might be nice in a paler colour, something more in keeping with the Edwardian lady, her journal, putting all together, the botanicals, that sort of time frame. It was about 1900s, a very early 1901, but she was born in late 1800s. Just thought this botanical idea, this hunting for plants, and I just think that these were a bit of fun. So these are in the link below, which is the Ko-fi page, and you'll be able to download these. Now, little story then, I'm going to start cutting things out and tell you. So growing up in England, I lived in some pretty rural places, and there would be sort of farmlands and just quiet hamlets of places where there were some houses, and a popular pastime would have been growing in their garden. They would have had greenhouses, and just the idea was that people used to put outside their front door plants and produce. So if they got some more courgettes or zucchinis or beets and beetroots, carrots and things, cabbage or whatever, they would put it out on a little table out at the front with a little honesty pot, a little pot to say, well, here's something, I made it, I grew it, I spent time over it, it was my pleasure, it was my passion, my hobby, and I've now got too much, or I would like to share it with you. And so you could pop along, and it still happens today. You go down some country lanes and you'll definitely find somebody giving away tomato plants or beans. You know, you can go and grow your own beans, and always a little cup or a pot there just to put a few coins in, or a donation to the effort, just to help with the growing of the, the compost or the feed or the seeds or something to help. So with that in mind, that very traditional, I've made something and I'd like to share it with you all. This is exactly what I've done here. And so therefore I'm putting it up on my Ko-fi page, and with the idea there of pay what you want. It is a little donation pot that goes with it. It can be free, you can help yourself, or if you'd like to support me, you could add a little something to go towards my supplies and things that I need to keep the channel going. And if you'd like to do that, then that's absolutely fine. It is really pay what you can. And if you can't, you can't. And that is absolutely fine, because this isn't what it's about. I'm not here to make a load of money. I'm here to spread some kindness. I'm here for my own benefit. I'm here for your benefit. And I just want to make sure that people have access to the things, and that also, if you have a spare bit of change and you'd like to maybe support my artistic endeavours, then the little honesty pot, as it appears, will be there, and it just says pay what you can. And I'm not expecting anything. You do what you can, and that is great. And if you want to have this kit, I think it's a lot of fun, so I just wanted to bring it to you. So here I've got 4 little butterfly labels, really cute. So we can cut those out, and I'll see what we can do with just this little idea here. I've got the botanical images here, and the sort of the specimen cards, the record keeping cards, and they don't have to be to fit this theme that I've been talking about at all, but they can. So these are the ones that I've got here. That is going to go like that, so they get stuck there, but the idea is to cut out this window. You won't have the logo there, that will just be the box, and then we can cut it out and have the peep through, or it can be stuck on there, because that could be a photo of your family, and that could be something that you'd like to journal with, and it's just another fun addition to the journal. And it can be folded like this, and then the photo of the day out be put there, and it be flipped up, and you could stain the inside or print it out on copy paper. You've got some options there. It doesn't have to be what we're doing here for the botanical. You could make that fun with your, one of your family members leaping out of it at you. That could be fun. These little labels, they could go on anything. They can be folded round to make little page tabs, so they can go on there like that and be a little something different, or they could just be stuck down somewhere else, little label at a jaunty angle, just to say what it is, or put it somewhere else on the page. So they could be like washi tape, and if you tear the edge, that could be look fun. So they could be just fun washi tapes. So there we go. So there's 4 of those little labels you get. You get 2 large ephemera cards for the botanical images, which they could be journaling cards. You can print it out a couple of times. You've got journaling cards. It could be a tuck, and they go in, and then you have some other image that you put on there. So that's what you get in that first sheet. Lots of ideas. I thought that was really good. And then we've got this really cool one here. So the second one, you get smaller journaling cards or ephemera cards. In fact, I'm not going to cut it out because I'm going to back it. I'm just going to glue along here. Now, I have been thinking about my glue, thinking I might be better off with one of those dyed ones, the school ones that have the colour in them, the purple glue or the blue glue, so I can actually see where I put the glue, and you can see it too. So I had thought about that. We do have coloured ones for Pritt Stick in the UK, so I wonder if that's as chunky, but I think I just need to be a little bit less mindful of sparing my glue and being a bit firmer with it and making sure I get a really good coating. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just checking that it's not my poor gluing technique. Going down with some vintage notebook paper. This vintage paper came from this book, so this is Grandad's wine log book. And in here, I can't remember if I've shown you this before, but I have used the paper. So in here in 1983, my granddad made 3 attempts at some homemade wine. So in January he tried a medium dry wine. He started after 1 week, shake the jar. And the third week was he started the parsnip wine. And then number one's connoisseur's choice, delicate dry white bottled. And that was the January 1983, which is 40 years ago. And sadly my granddad passed away in 1988. So hopefully not because of the parsnip wine. Definitely not because of the parsnip wine. But yeah, so this book is 33 years old. And this is another thing, isn't it? You hang on to these things because they're precious, because it's got your granddad's writing in or something. But really, he only used 1 page of the book. So I've thought, well, come on then, Grandad, let's just make, you know, you've obviously enjoyed growing your own parsnips and trying to make wine out of them. I'm now going to use the paper also for something creative. Yes, so that is this. And here we have it. So backed with the lined paper now, and using some good scissors. So yes, I remember very well my grandfather making this homemade wine, and it used to drive my grandmother nuts because the bottles had to be, there was a massive process to it. The bottles had to be turned regularly, and there's a lot of science to it. And I just remember being round there because they used to look after me, and the bottles would go pop. Oh no, one of the wine it's gone again. And it used to happen regularly, and so the wine would pop, and quick, right, hurry, because otherwise all the wine would go over onto the floor, and they scampered out to go and remedy it and make sure that it wasn't all spilling out onto the floor, these big bottles of wine. And it was a real laugh because it was a bit of a joke, making this parsnip wine. I just remember, it's just a fun memory. Pop! Oh no, the cork's flown out of one of these brewing bottles, and we had to go and see whatever it was. I think there was some success, because I remember my father being presented with a bottle at Christmas of some sort of fermented concoction from his garden. Oh, so brilliant. Good memories. Yes, it is a long time ago to get that notebook, and it was old when I received it. I thought, yeah, that's useful. Oh, here's some useful paper. There you go. Go and do drawing on that. And I just think, yeah, well, I don't want to because it was Grandad. So I kept it, now 33 years on, and realised that I'd still got it. And I thought, well, I'm doing creative things. Let's use that paper. It's not going to get used, and it's all gone lovely around the edges, aged and just fun to use now. It's just a nice soft paper, and so it's just a good bit of, it is junk. It is and it isn't. It's precious junk, but all my junk is precious. So it's clutter. That's what it is. Clutter. We're using up the clutter in our clutter books, memory books, precious things, treasured things, using the treasured things and enjoying it and putting it down on paper for the future, so that, my grandchildren that I haven't even got yet may be able to write on something their great-grandfather, thinking about it, would have had it as his possession. Paper from their great-great-grandfather. Come on. This is treasured stuff we're doing here. This isn't junk, is it? Right, let's have a cup of tea. I found some paper here from packaging paper. Oh, lovely. That's better. Right, let's settle into this then. So this is fun. So we've already done something similar, but I thought they were so good. I'm just going to glue this on to this backing paper here, just to see how this all works out. So I'm just going to cut this out. Okay, so here we have everything. I've cut it all out and displayed it so you can see. This is the kit, so it's French linen botanical journal. It's just some ephemera pieces, and then that's how it will appear without the logo that I've got there. And I have put nice fresh ink in my printer so you can see exactly what you're getting. So that is how it will appear. It will be a file that then you can download, and you can either have somebody print it off for you or print it at home. But the kit is here for the taking, so grab it while you can as a really lovely extra, which, you know, all of these elements would complement any journal, not just a botanical one, because you could take something as simple as that. Although I've inked that up and aged it, you wouldn't need to. You could put a photograph there, and or a ticket, or something that you want to display, maybe some pressed flowers or something you've made. It could be a button card. Lots of ideas. The same with this. We could cover this up with some other image. You could put one of these here. How about this one? This fits. And then you could cut that out and have that as a window for something else, for a picture. So this becomes a picture frame, and then you've got the lovely image there of the botanics. But these are nice big tickets or tags. I've done them with rounded corners here, but you could, you know, you could make the tag shape there and just cut them off. We might even do that. I really like this. And then we'll cut that out, and you can have something else. Okay, so these will cut out like that, and then you can fold them in half. So you could stick one down and have it to flip up and decorate it that way. You would ink along the edge, or put some trim, which would be nice piece of lace, bit of fabric, another piece of paper could go up there. You can orientate it this way so it's a little booklet, and put some scrap papers in. That's your spine. Then you strengthen that with some other paper or fabric, and you just have a little play, and then you can cut that out, and that be a window for one of the botanical images to then slot in there. Some of them are different sizes for the different possible things that you can do here, because I had originally thought, like my other one, we would be able to slot them in like a journal space there, and then that's your writing spot. So one of these would go in there, and then this again would look lovely if it was backed properly, and then that could become a tag that folds open. And you have it like that. Do your tabbed corners, cut out one of the windows, and then you could put a little booklet or something on the top, but just use that as your substrate. Just use that as your background, as a starting point, or if not, you've got the two tickets there. Inked on that one. I've gone round and I've inked with Vintage Photo, and I haven't inked on that one. So you can see the difference. You can choose which look you prefer. You've got both, so you could have a cleaner, fresher look without the ink, or you could age it with a nice sepia tone of a Vintage Photo, or one of the brown colours that you have in your ink range. And so we've got those as 3 cards, which could each be very different with the different images. So I've given 3 different looks here. We've got that one, and the red, same size, and that was echoing what I did the other day on the page, and I think that they were going to be tuck spots, so you could tuck something else in there that I've not necessarily given here, depending. You might want to tuck the flower in there, and that be your writing space, and you put a photo of something else on there. I'm just using the same ink dauber because this is my black brown one, so this is a different look. I'll do them in different ways, but I could cut the black border off, or you could keep it. I just want to see what this looks like. So that's that, but that's fine, because what I was going to do is use my hole punch, and I'm going to take a divot out of that. like so, and just do that. Right, so we've got that. Using some sharp scissors, I'm just going to cut through this. You could use your cutting mat and an X-Acto knife. You could use a hole punch if you've got a square hole punch, which actually I think I have. I'm not sure how they line up though, so I'm just doing it this way, and I'll have a quick look at the punch and see if that works. But I have gone with a rounded corner square here, just for a bit more of an Art Deco feel, because this is the era that we're dealing with, Art Deco. So this is another way. If you've got a punch like this, let's just see if, first of all, if it works. This was look, it's £1 from the charity shop, this one was. Go with it. Oh, so that's great. And then I've got the square, so we'll keep that. And I'll just get my ink on that. Black and brown around the edges. 2 different tones. Let's see if we can see that. See if you can notice. So that's with a full square punch out. I'm covered in ink. I do apologise. I will get my act together one day. Those are the rounded corner ones in 2 different styles, 2 different colours. That's a 1.5 inch punch. The fun bit is choosing which picture you want, which botanical image you're going to put under here, or a picture of your family. And then that will go in there. And then I think I'm going to use this nozzle here just so that I can get right up to the line with it. Oh, the other thing you could use is a little bit of tape. Let me show you. It's there, it's not going to move because you've doubly secured it with the glue and the tape. Alright, so that's that idea. Fabulous. I think I like the glue and the tape option. That's makes me feel like it's there for good. That one goes as close to the edge, as close to the top edge as you can get it, that one. Once you've got the knack of it, they're coming together really sweet. That's it. And then they are like that, little tickets. You know, they could be little tickets. Back them with something else. That will give it a bit more strength as well, because that was just 2 bits of paper put together. And then they can be stuck down on a page without any need for further backing. So if they're journaling cards, back them, and if they're going to be something to tuck in, then you can just, as is, put glue down all 3 sides, and then that become your slot right the way down because you've protected it with the tape. You might want to put tape all the way along that one so it doesn't catch on that rough edge. But, you know, plan it for however you propose to work with them. But, you know, loads of options there. So if I've left them like that, they would be great. They could even be little tuck things, and they'd all tuck out of a pocket, which could be this. You just shorten it to fit the page, and then they'd all go in there. And what you could have then is one central image, which is like that, and then you've got them all sticking out and merrily being there like so. So you wouldn't need to punch those bits out. That's one idea. You can line them up like this and then have tags that you make that go into all 3, and we can punch that one out as well so they match. So that's another idea. You could have them like that, glued down, and then that's a tuck up there. Same down here, it's another side tuck, and put those in there. Okay. Oh, the tickets go there so you don't see the images, so that's quite fun. So then they're revealed later, or they go into an envelope like a nice little find, nice little cards where you haven't punched the sides out, and there's 3 just like that, all in an envelope that you alter. Go with this one. So this is a really old one, and then in here, this is what we find inside this collection of botanical information. But really, it's your journaling space if you back it with something pretty. So there's that, and then you can decorate the front here, put something, lace or something behind that, piece of fabric coming in. Do you see, are we seeing some of this? Lovely, lovely. Another idea for the same thing is to decorate your envelope. That just gets stuck down. Beautiful little extra there. And then just embellish it with some other bit of scraps behind to make a little fun cluster coming in. And it goes down like that. And then you could bring in one of your butterflies, little butterfly stamp there, and have it all off-centered. This is a very scruffy envelope. It's just one of these ones that went in the pan, but you know, when you can use it as just a darker background and bring lighter things on, it's quite fun. So yeah, you've got the trim there that you could bring in. Use the 3 images and put those on somehow. Stitch them round. Just lots of ideas. Just let your mind go. What else we've got in here? So this was the field notes pamphlet we made. I opened it out like that just to avoid the bulk, and I've used my snippet roll as the belly band for this. So that is now how that looks on the page. I think that's really good. I think that's a good idea. I've enjoyed doing that. Then we've got these larger ones. So there's a whole collection of journaling cards. This has all come off these 2 pieces of paper. I haven't printed it out twice and then made it more. This is what you get, just 2 pieces of this, you know, it's just that. How many did you get? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 journaling cards, 5 large ones, and then 4, 5, 6 of the smaller ones. 3 labelly tags, pocket tickets to make, and then the larger tags or booklet or belly band / ephemera of awesomeness, all there for you. So with this, I'm taking a leaf out of Arthur Bully's book. I'm taking his advice, or his kindness was to want to bring flowers and botanical images to the masses, to everybody, and he wanted to have penny seed packets available to people that were, you know, he wanted, so whatever you could afford you would always be able to have. And this is where I'm coming from with this ideas. So on my Ko-fi page, if you log in and have a look and you want to have a go at this kit, it is available to you for what you can afford. It isn't a set price at the moment. I'm offering it to my subscribers to play and use if you've been following along with this journal, or you're just coming and having a look and seeing what's going on. Go and have a look at the Ko-fi site and my gallery of bits and bobs there, and you can download these little things. That looks really nice on a paper bag, and you can have the journaling cards there tucked into one of these ticket ideas, and then if you backed it onto something else, you could then still have that as a tuck. The only thing is they are orientated that way, because if you put the dip in that, you might interfere with your frame. So the tickets are orientated that way. And if they are all stuck together on one piece of paper, you could have this cascade belly band. like that. Hang on, we've got one that wasn't terribly thrilling. Let's see if I can find in here somewhere. Seed packets, they're on another video. Everything's in the Botanical Journal playlist, everything. How to make all of this. I've not done anything off camera. A cascade. So you could lose some of that plant down there and just tuck it in there and tuck it in there. Oh, I really like that. Oh, how about on a wonk? Look at that. That's good, isn't it? How about that? And then I could just stick it directly onto that and we'd sort of end up with tucks either side. What else? So just playing, because they're slightly different sizes, but that was deliberate. Because I just think they look nice and interesting when they're fanned out and then they're placed. They're just slightly different sizes and it just seems to work. So they could all cluster together down here. Whatever you think is nice, and then that goes, all gets stuck down there. Then you've got this nice stepped edge, interesting, don't have to think about it, just stick it down onto a piece of scrap and you've got a very nice little tuck spot. And then of course you can add your tickets, especially if you put black and white images or something a bit different, or you have them orientated up that way. Something like that, equally fun. And then we've got these 3 little stamps. Well, they're just perfect for collage. They can go and be added on a page, so we could get another belly band, or we just stick them down. You could decorate the edges, ink the edges, you could cut them with a nice, you could even tear them out so you've got a deckled edge. You can ink around them after that. And you could use that something like a scalloped sort of, if you've got any fun scissors. So these are scalloped edge. No, that's not right, is it? It needs to be that way. Oh, that's odd. I have to cut in an odd way to get the stampy effect. Didn't know that. That's fun. So they can go either way. Go over here to where we have got something very dull, and then they could spice up something down here. If they were inked round, I think they'd be better on a coffee coloured paper. That's nicer. Coffee colour is nicer because it is an ivory creamy background, and they just look fun. I think they just look nice. Or they are for the little pockets and they go in here. So we could have something like that. Certainly store them in there until you're ready for them. If you've made something like this, nice to give away, little bit of happy mail and some special images there, and then include the labels, 3 little labels. Always nice with 3, but we ended up with 4, so you could have the 4 or put one over here. And that's a lovely gift for somebody. Let's cut this out now. Okay, so I've cut that out, and then you just go and ink around in that inside bit there, just to get rid of any white of the digital kit. And it just makes a bit of a difference because it emphasises that as a frame, and then when you put an image behind, it just pops out a bit better. Quite nice to just go around, just take away the white cut edge and age it and make it look more authentic. Then we choose one of these images and I will glue around. And you can just embellish this however you want. So I'm thinking, I was thinking of having it the way that, like that, but it could equally go this way and we cover this bit up with something else. Maybe have something else that shows off a book, or so we put that there, and then maybe that's going to be what you have peeping through your frame. I mean, it's a frame, you can have anything you like. Back a sticker onto a square and maybe have a clock or something like that for my bigger bit. Oh, or you know, a fun image of an animal or a bird. That's quite cool. That's like that. Very cool, very fun. And then I've got everything. I've got my writing space there, so I don't need that. I could stamp a date there. I've got a little ticket here. I'm going to back it, I think, on this old vintage map bit here. And maybe just take a slither off of the side so it all fits in, and just give that a nice look there. That's it. That's better. That's a little bit more weathered. And then I'm going to put my divot hole in here as well. Can you see where this is going? Ink that bit up. Then this is going to be on here like this. I'm just going to glue down 3 sides. Leaving the top bit open, I can now just glue this straight down here, directly onto my piece of paper, leaving, I love that edge, so that's a real vintage edge there. So if you've got an old piece of paper, that would be great. If not, just one of your coffee dyed papers or tea papers, something that's slightly lighter than this brown colour that you're getting here anyway. And then that goes in there. So gluing round 3 sides to make our top pocket. And then just securing that in there like that. I won't do a dip at the top because that's not necessary. So now we've created a little tucky bit in there for one of these, maybe another writing space, or it could be another flower going in there. So we could have that, or what was this one? Oh, the orange one. I like the orange one. That's good. So maybe we want that peeping through, the little orange one there. Or they all come up here like this. Maybe you have something else going in there. Or you make another tag. That's nice there. And then perhaps we have an extra one of these sort of going in here. Oh, it's a really deep pocket. Okay, so they're too small. Perhaps these guys could live in here. Like that. Another option. And then what it wants is a date stamp there. But if you don't like that date stamp, you simply take one of your labels and you cover it up. Maybe we have one with a dark edge, and you just sort of cover that up. And then that could be the date that you want. If you don't want the wording there, you could just cover that up like that. And then that could be your writing bit of what you do want to talk about. Or you take somebody else's label and you put that on there like that, and maybe layer them. So you'll find the link below to my Ko-fi site if you would like to have a go at this digital kit. It's all there for you, taking a leaf out of Arthur's book and leaving it to you to choose the price. Up to you. It's pay what you can, support me if you can. If not, leave a lovely comment, and that's great. That's all that's needed. It's just to share with you what I'm producing here, and all just relaxing into some quiet crafting, looking after ourselves, getting away from the stresses and the strains of modern day life, delving into something a little bit more slow and meaningful and making our journals. And just to finish off the challenge, I'm fussy cutting here, so I think this is another nice idea to use this kit just to fussy cut some of the images out. I'm going to go with this bright shot of pink and this lovely warm tone here of this very interesting botanical flower. I'm coming round and I'm just going to come in and get that there. And there's no limit to how many times you can print this out. Once you have the file, it is yours, and you can keep that and print that out. You can make what you like with these images, add them to things, and if you want to sell the what you make, that's completely okay. You won't be able to sell the digital on though. All right. I have just inked round my little stamp, so I'm echoing it. I'm going to put it up the top there, and so it all ties in with what I've got here. But this has been such great fun. I've really enjoyed this because there's multiple uses for that kit, so I can now decorate several pages in a different way using all the same things and making the whole lot tie in a bit more, so it's really quite cool. So I'm just going to put that on the top there. That could have been a little upper tuck, little tucky bit. I might leave it. But I'm going to have, because I didn't have my butterfly, I'm going to put him in there. So we'll have the butterfly as well. So these are all little ephemera labels that you can have. And you make loads of them if you want, print out more. And then they can go into other journals as well. It doesn't have to be this one. If you've got somebody else's digital kit, this could just emphasise what you've got going on over there. It's all going to work, isn't it? And then some of the orange colours might want to go into a fall type thing. And we can have a little extra. One of these could pop up there. Or we stick the whole lot down. And that's just an extra embellishment. How that's looking with the fussy cut, the trim. We've got the little tucky pocket here. I've added that, but that was just so you could see how you could have a card in there, maybe with one of those embellishments that we made. So that would tuck in there. And then we've got the pocket at the top. More journaling cards you can add to them. Tickets and ephemera pieces. And then we've got this lovely idea here, which could then perhaps come and be on this page. And then everything ties in. And then you could work out something extra to add in there and make that one, and make it all match. Ta-da! Okay guys, so have a little look at the Ko-fi link below. It's available for you, and it's a big thank you to all of your support so far, and I just wanted you to have something extra to journal with over the weekend and really enjoy it. Okay guys, so thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and share, and check out the link and enjoy yourselves, and above everything else, just slow down and make crafting time for you. Bye bye now.